No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Zero Interest. This time we're looking at Konosuba Season 2, Episode 8, Sightseeing in This Pitiful City.
This was a dense episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last episode wasn't nearly as dense, and I feel like they could have moved some of this denseness over there, but at the same time, I feel like it works because it's pretty dense.
Kind of, I was watching the clock by, halfway through, which is never a good sign. But yeah, I was expecting it to be over because of how the pacing was. It was like there wasn't a proper ending for the previous episode, and it felt like the proper ending for this episode was about halfway through it. The pacing's a bit screwy, but yeah. So
they have 10 episodes, so yeah.
So this one starts basically where it left off last time, which was, giant vulture flamingos are about to run over Darkness, and then they do backflips over her in a shot that is very reminiscent of something else, but I can't put my finger on what it was. Like just a slow motion backflip over a person. I know I've seen it somewhere before, but I can't think.
Yeah. It's I think it's something you see a lot in anime, actually. But Darkness is...
I'll have to put the clip in, and people feel free to tell me what it is that I'm thinking of, because there's going to be examples, and people are going to tell me what they are. So they all start backflipping over her in a line. Then what happens? I don't remember.
She's like, "Oh, they're teasing me. Oh, these lustful males jumping over me," and she's getting real hype about all this. Well, they're still going on, and they're still ramming into people past her. And Cosmo's like, "We need to solve this. Is there a cliff nearby?" It's like, "No, but there's a cave that we use for shelter from the heat." So it's like, "Okay, we're going there. Come on, Darkness, I'll pick you up." And he's like, "No, you're too heavy."
You shouldn't say that. You should say my armor is too heavy.
Like, you're too heavy. And it's like, well, you could try tying me to the back of the carriage and just drag me along.
Oh, I completely forgot about this. Okay. So, for anyone in the audience that played Saints Row 2, do you happen to remember that scene where one of your lieutenants gets kidnapped by this dude that, works on monster trucks, and they chain him to the back of one of his and drag him along the asphalt for a long time? And it's a really moving scene when you actually find him and free him from the chain, because he is so wrecked that the camera won't even show it, and you mercy kill him by shooting him in the head.
Wow, this is worse than you... Oh.
Yeah, so this whole gag of having someone dragged behind a wagon in the dirt didn't land as well for me. It just brought up really sad memories of playing that scene.
Well, she's enjoying it at least, and Aqua's casting a heal, so she's not getting too hurt.
Yay!
She has defense. She's okay. It's okay. But,
oh, God.
Yeah, they're driving away, and, Darkness is bouncing and spinning around and laughing in a very... Like, I feel like it's funnier because you brought up that scene for me right now.
Like, it was a really pivotal character. He gets you out of prison at the start of the game, and he's like one of your ardent supporters, and he gets killed in a really gruesome and brutal way, and that's what I am forced to remember when they do this. Oh, God.
I'm finding this hilarious. Cosmo, let's see, Wiz creates a swamp, like, with advanced magic to kind of create a barrier, slow him down a little bit. Cosmo gets buffed by Aqua, So he goes up there and tries to snipe him,
Mm.
slow him down. They get to the cave, and while still having the buff on, he picks up Darkness and throws her right towards the entrance of the cave.
Yeah. And the birds continue to just sort of run up to her and just hop over her like, I don't know, video game. I can't remember which one. Just
They
what it
go,
reminds me of.
they just go very boop, 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 right into the cave,
Lemmings. Lemmings. That's might be what I was thinking of.
and
Yeah.
then seal the cave with an explosion.
Mm. Yeah. So that happened, and then time skip to at night, and they've circled the wagons and everything. So nice, relaxing party to celebrate. Hey, we survived, and everyone's great and everything. And one of the merchants is like, "Hey, good job for like all your party were amazing. Like the girl that just ran out and just protected everyone, and uh, an arch wizard that's capable of using explosion magic, and that swamp was amazing. And
Okay, Dark
uh,
Priest healed all the people who got injured. So
yeah,
like,
and your decisiveness of just immediately telling us to head for that cave, it's so amazing. I'm so impressed by you. Please take this bag of coins as a thank you for all that you did today. You really saved our asses. And Cosmo will not accept any of it because he's a fucking dumbass and thinks, oh, it's all our fault. So,
it's all our fault. We can't really accept compensation for cleaning up our own mess.
no, still not like,
I think that's kind of somewhat noble of him,
not
I
really.
guess, because he feels that responsible for it. But like, also take into account that he's going to have tons of money when he gets back home,
Mm,
so he can afford to say no to this.
yeah, I guess. Sorry, just don't mind me. So, what were we talking about? Right. So the party happens, and Aqua's doing party tricks with the stupid fans and the shooting water out of them, and then she points at
Nature's
Wiz,
blessing.
and one shoots out of her head.
He has a little fan appear, and
Mm,
she's like, "Oh," and it's kind of cute, kind of funny.
yeah.
Uh, Mega Man and Darkness are watching Cosmo repair Darkness's armor. He's like, "Yeah, I learned these smithing skills a while back, remember?" And
mm.
put them to
It's a
use.
little awkward when you're watching me like this while I'm hammering at a breastplate in the
Yeah,
shape of Darkness's boobs.
it's a little bit awkward.
Mm. Yeah. So, uh, they basically,
Nighttime,
yeah,
sleep.
skip ahead. They go to sleep. Um, and Cosmo wakes up because something he has a Wiggins again. Does he have like a danger sense? I think he does, or something.
Yeah, I think he has. Uh, yeah, he had like a foresight or hindsight, or he had some sort of like danger sense type ability that
Yeah,
triggers.
yeah. So that actually, yeah, I forgot about that from the previous episode. That's why he suddenly had a Wiggins.
Yeah,
Um, it's a useful word actually. I don't use it enough as a Wiggins.
Wiggins.
Yeah, it's a Buffyverse word. Um, so yeah, he gets a Wiggins and wakes up and he's like, okay. Tries to wake up Megumin and Wiz, I think it was. They won't wake up for some reason. But Darkness is already awake and he's like, what were you going to do to them? Because he's like, I'm going to have to do something to you and you won't be able to look at me if you don't wake up right now. Hmm.
Yeah,
Uh, it's it's a weird little pointless kind of scene because then everyone in the camp just wakes up and everyone's awake. Um,
because they find out that, oh, hey, horde of zombies is coming this way.
I don't. I think it happened that you know everyone just kind of had an alarm, and then Cosmo does his zoom thing, so he
Yeah,
sees them, and then it's like, oh, uh, zombies. I think someone throws a flare or something, and they see it. So yeah, army of zombies coming, and then Aqua. gets woken up by a group of zombies surrounding her, and she's like, "Ah, what the hell? I'm waking up with undead surrounding me. That's not cool. Why is this happening?"
One thing that I've liked that's consistent with the story is that
Yes.
Aqua, when Aqua wakes up, she has her fancy bubbly. That's
Yes.
her wine that's like fancy expensive, and she always I can't sleep without it. So anytime she wakes up, she always has a bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. Um. So yeah, she wakes up and immediately does a turn undead in a huge circle throughout the entire camp, basically. And it disintegrates a zombie. And then as it disintegrates, you see behind it, and it's just Wiz. She's,
She's in bed, so that just woke her up.
yep. Yeah, I had to say it while we were watching it. That was expertly done. It's like, yeah, fantastic. She basically kills all the zombies because turn undead, etc. That's a thing.
Now
And
accept our reward.
yeah, and he's like, no.
Because darkness attracted all of those zombies, and it's kind of our
Aqua.
fault. You wouldn't have to deal with this normally.
The zombies.
Yeah, Aqua attracted all the zombies. So.
Yeah, you said darkness.
Oh, sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah, so that's basically it. They, train gets it going again, and they get to the city. This is pretty much where I kind of expected the episode to end, and it didn't. So this is what I was talking about, like watching the clock, because that's the plot point where I'd expect the episode to end, and it didn't. So that's a little weird.
And we mustn't forget the quick cutaway to Yun, who now has a giant roasted pig that she bought and got wrapped up and carted all the way over to their house, and it's like, let's have a duel now, Mega Man, and we can all enjoy this together. Well, before we have our duel.
Yeah, we
can have a nice
we forgot
time.
the bit in the previous episode where she shows up at the house and no one's there
Yeah.
and she had like gift baskets.
She's bringing presents and she's like, let's all have fun together, guys, and I can duel Mega Man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So yeah, if I were to rearrange the pacing for these few episodes, it would probably be the first episode of these 5, because they split it in 5 for each book. It would end with them leaving the town. The second one would be the journey, and then the third one would just be all about being in the town.
Exactly. That's kind of exactly. I think that might even be how the chapters are arranged in the light novel. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they just didn't have the content for it and didn't want to do fillery stuff. Maybe I don't know. Or didn't want to cut anything out of episode 6, which they probably would have had to do if they wanted to get that far through the pacing. Yeah. I don't even remember what episode 6 was. In fairness, I haven't edited yet. So.
I think wasn't episode 6 the one where he died?
Oh yeah, that is the one that he died. Yeah.
That was kind of important.
It was kind of important. They probably could have cut something from that, but I'm not gonna go into it. Yeah, so they get to the town, and it's a lot of shots of, hey, this town there's a lot of water around. It's Magic Venice, basically.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I just got distracted because I got a new comment. Weasel's commenting on the podcast, I think. Hi, Weasel. You don't get put in the capture anymore because that's not how the thing works anymore, because we're not capturing that way.
Yeah. We're no longer ghetto. We're no longer ghetto capturing.
Yeah. You don't get to cameo anymore, motherfuckers.
Anyways.
So, they get to the town, they find a place to stay, I assume. And I think Cosmo does Drain Touch on Darkness again to get Wiz back in good shape, because she was
Yeah,
fucked
but
up from the turn on dead.
not before they get out of the wagon and they're immediately assailed by people saying, "Oh, welcome to a wonderful city. Boy, this sure is the place of the Axis cult. Hey,
Oh
you
yeah.
want to join the Axis cult?"
Mm.
And just the whole people, and it's like, "Oh no!" It's like,
Mm.
oh, they're all like, "Oh man, your hair is so blue, and your raiment is just like the goddess Aqua. Oh wow!" And he's
Mm.
like, "Yeah, we're gonna go. We already have an archpriest here
Yeah.
of your faith. Okay, bye." And like, "Okay, bye, comrades." And it's like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So they're at the place where they're staying, and Cosmo says, "Yeah, Aqua went to the Axis church to see what's going on down there and to have some fun, and Megaman went with her. This is gonna go badly, but okay." Uh, so
It's the city of literally Aqua City, like
mm,
the headquarters of all her Axis cult operations. Keep in mind that most people in this world literally call it a cult and not a church.
and ironically enough, well, not ironically at all, they call the Eris Church a cult because, of course, they do. This is a religious kerfuffle. Okay. So Cosmo and Darkness go out into the town,
Uh,
and
Real quick, just the one gag with Wiz where she's on the river Styx and she sees Verdia, the
yeah.
Dualahan guy from before, waving like, "Oh, oh!" And she's like,
In fact, I don't think it's supposed to be the river Styx. I think Japan have their own river metaphor for death, but it's
"Yeah."
not quite the same thing. But yeah.
He was
Um,
waving from the other side.
sorry.
Verdia was waving from the other side, like the
Yeah.
he's sure excited for Wiz.
Mm. So they're out in the town, Cosmo and Darkness, and they see a girl carrying a bucket of apples, and she drops them, and Cosmo goes to help, and I immediately say scam.
Yeah,
It was like within a second of any of this happening, and I'm like, scam.
scam. Turns out it's a scam.
Go figure. I was, surprisingly
She,
on the ball about that. So,
she's like, "Oh wow, uh, hey, why don't we go talk over in this cafe? It's run by the Axis Church."
mm,
He's like, "Yeah, no thanks." And she starts to grab him and starts to pull him,
gets
and it's
very insistent. And then Darkness wanders up and says, "Excuse me, I'm a member of the Eris Church, so no thank you." And the girl just sort of spits off to the side and then just sort of
away.
wanders off,
It's
does it again. Um, yeah.
Cosmo's all like, you know, this excites Darkness, and Cosmo's like, "Are you turned on right now?" And she's like, "I'm not."
It was, yeah, but you made that sound. So,
So they walking through again. There's this girl being chased by this big, strong man with a red afro. She's like,
mm.
"Oh, help me! This nasty Eris cultist is going to do something bad to me.
Before
Help!"
they even mentioned the word anything about anything, I literally just said scam again, and yeah, it was a scam. And I said, okay, I'm just going to stop calling these out. They're all going to be scams. Literally everything that happens is going to be a scam.
Man, if you were one of those big, strong, cool Axis church members, you'd be able to scare this guy away running.
Mm.
And it's just Cosmo and Darkness have to just kind of walk away as they're like
Yep.
being pursued.
Just, Eris, Church, and both of them just go,
Spit.
yeah,
Avoidance.
in unison. So, yeah,
And
that
then
was the thing.
this gets her going again. He's like, "I really hope everybody in the aerospace isn't like her."
So, uh, basically a montage of various scams, and one of I think it was the very next one is one that I mentioned. Me and my parents got caught by. It was like guy comes up to you in the middle of the city and is like, "Hey, why don't you try this and you might win a prize or something?" Is the one that the guy in the show just basically said, "Hey, you won a prize for being the millionth person walking down the street or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ours was for a timeshare type thing, and it was bullshit. Cost us about 10 grand, and it took us about 10 years to try and get rid of it. So, yeah. Careful when being a tourist in any place ever, because people will just think you're a sucker.
Mm-hmm. That's why you
And
gotta make sure you don't look like a tourist.
and usually they'll be right, because they are very good at making people become suckers.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, they see a bunch of these scams happen. And they go to a cafe, and the waitress is very nice to Kazuma, who is basically unaffiliated, and then she turns to Dogs and says, "And for the heiress cultist," and
On
puts
the
a
house,
dog bowl on the floor with a
with
bone in
the
it.
Jock just immediately says, "Hey, Cosma, how about we all move and live here?"
Mm.
And yeah, it
Chimanata,
just
represent. I just noticed the logo was on the glass. We probably shouldn't do that. Actually, is have logos on these videos. Think about it.
probably we're not
Oh well,
monetizing it though, so it's fine.
that's probably fine.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so they are basically very, very sick of the whole scam thing at this point, and they're just sort of walking down a darkened street for whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason.
An
Not really
alleyway.
established. Yeah. Um, and a little girl trips and gets slightly injured or something. Um, and Cosmo goes and helps her up and is like, "Are you okay?" And says, "Yeah, thanks, mister. What's your name?"
Oh, it's Sato Kazuma.
Yeah,
Really? How do you write it?
once again, before any of this started, as soon as I saw the kid fall over, I was like, "Scam again." I felt it wasn't obvious that time, so I was just like, "Yeah, yeah, this one too, even this one." Um,
And
surprisingly enough, uh, so she says, "Oh, Sato Kazuma, how do you write that?" And hands him a piece of paper.
yeah.
Oh, you write it like.
Oh, music, horrified music starts playing back. He looks at her. Her eyes are glowing. He's like, "No!" He rips it, and she's like, "Oh, Nichan!"
あ、俺の名前はね。
The facial expressions in that was great, by the way. If I'm going to call myself, I've been putting less clips of the show in because I'm gun shy about the whole copyright bullshit. But I'm calling myself out. I need to put that clip in of the faces of him and the kid because that was just great faces.
Yeah,
Just
it's just it's really well done.
yeah, great.
This is a nice introduction into what it's like to be a follower of Aqua. Uh, they even said so earlier. You get benefits such as being a good entertainer and attracting undead to yourself.
Hmm.
It's. Mm,
Yeah.
I mean, given that this is the hot spring city, they all kind of make their money based off this like water-based thing, so it makes sense.
Mm.
But like, I don't think most people would, with any sort of common sense or reason, would want to join this unless they got suckered in.
Mm.
And so,
Much
yeah.
like buying a timeshare.
Yep.
So, yeah, the comparison is not lost on me. Yeah, so this is where the episode ends again. Again, it's a weird place to end. It was funny, but it was a weird place to end. Like I say, the pacing was a little weird.
This was the, I guess, introduction to the city, and then we're going to have the next two episodes being about the sort of, I guess, plot type element that will happen in this town.
Okay, so that was that episode. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty great, actually. Just in general, it was a funny episode.
All right, we'll see you guys next time with Konosuba Season 2, Episode 9. We've only got 2 more episodes left. And then Casey's going to make me watch something that's going to make me depressed and sad and want to die inside.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be great.
yeah. Bye, everybody.
Well, you never know. I mean, we haven't actually announced what we're going to be doing yet, so I could just make you listen to Hamilton. We'll do that track by track if you feel like it. You want to do that instead?
If you do Hamilton, I will leave.
Why? I honestly think you would enjoy it. That's not even me
Yep,
being
I
a shit
am.
about it. You probably
I
would.
did theater for 6 years. I love theater, but if you force me to do it, I will not like it.
Okay, fair enough. That genuinely your loss, though. Yeah. So thanks for watching. We'll be back.
Bye.
Also, you entirely unintentionally made a Hamilton reference, and that's why I was freaking out a little bit partway through this episode.
I didn't. I don't know.
You said "say no to this," and that's literally the name of one of the songs. Bye, everybody. Like, it's not even an easy reference you would have made. It was just there, and I was like, yep. Bye, everybody.
I don't need to hear that sound coming out of you. Just close it, end it.
Did I mention that when I poop, I sometimes just say explosion when it's like a really forceful one? The habit I got into.
Explosion!
Yep.
Oh.
It's one good thing that came out of me watching this show.
Oh.
For a certain definition of good.
That's way too much information.
It's fun. Not gonna lie.
You still recording?
Yeah. Why not?
Why? Okay, end
Felt like
this.
It's a really long tail in this episode, but, you know. Kind of fits the pacing of the show, actually.
I have an image in my head that I don't want, like, I want to, oh. Oh.
Bye, everybody.